Howdy, y'all. It's Cody from the Keepers of Nerddom. It looks like we got some spoilers ahead of time for some Grey Knights. So we're going to go through really quickly and just do some quick reviews of these. Try to give some thoughts. I've looked at some of this before, but I haven't processed exactly what it is. But also to look at what exactly has happened here on these figurines. This is big, right? This is a big deal. So we're gonna go through and see what's changed here. Yeah, this is exciting because Grey Knights are a fascinating faction, and they've changed drastically from really heavy psychic to now very heavy on teleportation. It seems like just about everything has teleport, assault, and deep strike on their figures as far as their core abilities. So let's go through this. The first one we have is Kaldor Grandmaster Voldus. My bad. That's a little bit of a difference. So, Grandmaster Voldus, let me pull up the older data sheet here. Yeah, so let's go through here. 5 movement, that's unchanged. 2 up attacks for weapons and ballistics, that's not changed. 4 strength. So strength is untied now. Toughness 4 back in the day, now he's toughness 5. 6 wounds back in 9th. Leadership 6+, that's completely new. So an OC only of 1. So that's kind of interesting. First off, we have a ranged weapon of a Storm Bolter, Rapid Fire 2. So it would get 2 extra attacks if it gets within 12 inches. That is completely the same as the... he used to have a Mastercrafted Storm Bolter. Now he just has a Storm Bolter. And it's Strength 4... went down in AP and went down a damage. Yikes. His weapon for range is terrible. It's just bad. 2 shots, maybe, if you're teleporting, 4 shots, but 4 shots of strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage. Just bad. Yeah, so not great there. Meleagus Argurum. Huh. Weird word. So let's see, did he have this before? Yeah, he did. So the strength on it was ×2. This strength here is 10, so he doesn't have a strength directly. So his strength back then was 4, so that was 8, and this is 10. So it did go up, actually. 5 attacks. He would have 6 attacks before, so that's interesting. They've changed that there. He lost his grenades, it seems like. Strength 10. -2 AP versus -3 and 3 damage. So that stayed the same. Overall, it's worse, which is interesting. He has Psychic now. While this Sanctuary, while this model is leading a unit, each time an attack hits that targets that unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Good gracious. So they're going to be harder to hit, whoever he's leading. He has a 4-up invuln, and then Hammer of Flame Psychic. Each time this model's unit is selected to fight, you can select one enemy unit within engagement range of this model's unit and roll 1d6, adding 2 to result if that unit has the Daemon keyword. On a 4 through 5, that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 6+, that enemy unit suffers D3 plus 3. So, yikes. 50-50 shot on anything that's not the demon stuff, and if you're a demon, you're basically only rolling a 1. Is it going to fail? This is, it's a pretty nasty power. Definitely not what he used to have, as far as he did have the reroll a hit roll. No. He helped reroll hit rolls for Ward Maker's Core. Had 2 psychic powers. Wow. And he could potentially say, no, you can't deny my psychic stuff. So he's definitely lost a lot of psychic there, but the teleport, he's going to be in a group. Very interesting. Fascinating stuff that the changes there. Everything's going down as far as damage, quote unquote, but yet when you pay really close attention to the gameplay, it's not going down. It just looks like it on the surface. There's some things that people are reviewing now that are already really, really strong comparatively. So I didn't realize this till just now looking up the data sheet. So apparently Interceptor Squad is the only fast attack model in the entirety of the Grey Knights Codex. 12-inch movement, that's completely the same. They have 3s up to hit, 3s up for ballistics and weapons. That's all still true. Strength 4, toughness 4 back in the day. They still have the toughness 4. 2 wounds is the same. Saves of 3 up back in the day, and now it's a 2+. That's kind of silly. 2+ saves on Grey Knights. Yikes. Okay, so we've got quite a few weapons here, and honestly, the silencer just seems like again, 0 AP, 1 damage, storm bolter, rapid fire 2, sustained hit. Man, it's just not. There's nothing good here. I would take the silencer over the storm bolter, I would suppose, because it has more attacks with the sustained hits, so it could actually have more go through on, I believe, 6s for sustained hits, gives you additional hits. But this is weird. The incinerator ignores cover and has a torrent ability, but it's really short range. The psi cannon's where it's at. I'm guessing though that's going to be a limited equipment. If not, that's probably the one you want to go for. The psi cannon, it's a special weapon, so it's not even on their typical list. Let's just go with storm bolter for a moment here. Normally it was 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, 4 strength, 0 AP, 1 damage, and it's actually completely the same. That's funny. Yeah, everything else that's listed there on that data sheet is not actually on there. It's all in like special weapons, the incinerator, silencer, and the psi cannon. That's so silly. So we've got tons of extra stuff listed somewhere else. So yeah, that's weird. Close combat weapon, nemesis force weapon. So they're just combining all the nemesis weapons. We knew that. This is nemesis force sword is all that they had initially. So 6 strength they normally had, plus 1 their strength. So the strength actually went up by 1. Minus 3 AP. It's minus 2 now. And 3 attacks, whereas they had 3, or their leader has 4. And then 2 damage, and it used to be 2 damage. So it just went down on AP really and went up some strength. That's fine. Personal teleporters in your shooting phase. After this unit has shot, if it's not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move up to 6 inches if it were your movement phase. If it does until the end of the turn, this unit is not eligible to declare a charge. I like that it can't declare a charge, but that's going to let them hide. That makes me pretty nervous on what we're going to see from that. So moving on, we have the Nemesis Dread Knight, and oh boy, right? This is quite the thing. Let's get the older data sheets up. Side note, giving everybody all of their equipment for free in the Space Marines section, of the like infantry, it seems like so frustrating because that's so many point costs cuts, and it looks like it's going to be the same here, unless on the back of the card it actually has some info or something, but we'll see. Because then there's no reason, if we go back, to take that Storm Bolter, because you could take a better weapon. The silencer is just a better version of it, period. The psi cannon is just better, period. I don't know, it's weird. All right, anyway, Nemesis Dread Knight, we've got 8-inch movement. That is down from 9, but it's going to be more consistent over time. Toughness 8 versus toughness 6. We knew that was going to go up. Save 2+, so 2+ saves. 13 wounds. Leadership, OC, okay. Gatling Silencer, it looks like it was a heavy 12. It's still 12 shots. They don't have the heavy on it anymore. Psychic sustain hits 1, so it gets more. If it hits a 6, it gets an extra shot, I believe. I think that's what that is. Let me look. 10th edition weapon rules. I can't ever remember which ones do what. Sustain hits. Let's see. Critical hit is rolled, so 6. Yep. Yep, that's exactly what that was. Good. Heavy incinerator. Oh yeah, sorry. Let's keep going here. 3 up to hits, which was the case for them. -1 AP. The AP went down to 0. 6 strength, so it's up by 1. 1 damage. So it loses the AP, which then makes it just not good. Heavy incinerator has the ignores cover and the torrent, and again, torrent is the auto hit, so you don't have to roll a hit roll. Nailed it. That's terrifying. Okay. 2d6 worth of attacks. Same. -1 AP. Yeah, everything stayed the same on that. Weird. 18-inch range. It was a 12-inch range, so it went up by 6 inches. Huh. It's crazy that didn't lose an AP and went up 6 inches and ignores cover. Kind of crazy. Heavy psi cannon. The difference here is strength 10 versus 8. AP goes down by 1. Damage goes up by 1. Weird. That's probably the better weapon in ways. It's a lot of damage, but weird. All right, melee. Looks like whoa. AP on Dreadfists in 9th were -3, and now it's down to -1 with 1 damage, and they were 2 damage as well, with the strength on them being ×2, so 12 strength, and now they are strength 6. They're really trying to just say, please don't use these. Go to the other stuff. And wow, the Great Hammer is a 4+, which that was a thing before. Its strength was 12, now it's a 14. -3 AP, down by 1. D6 +1, so tops out at 7, minimum of 2. It was a D3 +3, so 4 minimum damage, 6 maximum. I like that weapon better in 9th edition. More consistent damage. 5 attacks though, and it had 5 attacks. Okay. So you'd actually get more attacks with your Dreadfists, but they're just lame comparatively. In the Greatsword, you can choose between the two. Who wants to bet that everything just went down in AP? The answer is, yep, went down in AP. Yep, double attacks. That's all lining up. Weapon skills are still there. The strength definitely was, it's a 10 and a 5, so it actually went down 1 on the sweep. -1 AP, D6 of damage, and 2 damage on sweeping blow. So it went down on damage. This is interesting. Like, are they getting ready to drop the points on these guys? Because if so, that's scary, because they have teleport out the wazoo. They're going to strike first. So Deadly Demise, D3, Deep Strike, Teleport Assault. They're jumping all over the place. Empiric Reprisal. This model is eligible to shoot and declare a charge on a turn in which it advanced or fell back. That's crazy. That is just crazy. And Invuln save of 4+, and then the damage thing. So I feel like we're gonna have a vehicle meta. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Crazy. All right, Brotherhood Terminator Squad. What is that thing called on here? There it is. Troops. Okay. All right, so 5 inches. 5 inches. That's all normal. 3's up to hits. Those are still normal. Strength's going to be separated out. Toughness 5 versus it was toughness 4 in 9th edition. 3 wounds. 3 wounds. Jeez. Leadership still not. I don't know. I was kind of expecting them and Custodies to have higher leaderships. 2 OC. Weird. The Incinerator ignores cover and torrent. There we go again. Yikes. And again, it's off the thing, because these are all things that were special weapons, and now just take it all. So the one thing we have is the Stormbolter, which we've already seen, and it's the exact same. Just hilarious. again, a thing you wouldn't want to take. There's the Nemesis Force weapons, which is really, they're incorporating the sword and other melee weapons. They're just saying, all right, whatever you take is what you take. You get the falchions, you get a sword, you get a hammer, or whatever the options are. They're just all the same. Kind of interesting. Hammer Hand Psychic. Each time a model in this unit makes a charge move until the end of the turn, melee weapons equipped by models in this unit have the Lethal Hits ability. Lethal Hits. I apologize that I don't remember these. Lethal Hits. Score a natural 6. You don't need to roll to wound. They attack auto wounds. Oh, okay. Duh. So that's good. War Gear abilities. Ancient's Banner. Add one of the objective control characteristics of models in the bearer's unit. That's literally the Vexillus thing for the Custodes. Narthesium. In your command phase, you can return one destroyed model, excluding characters, to the bearer's unit. That better cost 20 points. Because that's ridiculous. Like, I'm a Necrons player, and that's the thing we do is resurrect. And now it feels like just about everybody is getting it somewhere, this ability to resurrect, it feels like. It's crazy. And I think it was Grey Knights that had the resurrection as well, and I'm just like, why are they doing all this? This is bizarre. So, right here, I think Grey Knights are going to get better, even though it doesn't necessarily look like they're getting better. Now, the last one we have here, let me make sure it's the last one here. For some reason, Voldus was first. Yeah, this should be our last one. Kaldor Drago. Kaldor Drago. I love that these are all special weapons, and we can't just see them on Wikipedia, or Wahapedia. Kaldor Drago, here he goes. All right. He has 2 weapon options, and me and friend were talking through this. Will he get to have both of these weapons? Because the first one is a psychic thing, and will he just have it like equipped, and it's like him just psychicking things, and then also have the Stormbolter, or will he have to choose? Because if he has to choose, I know the option is pretty clear: just take the top thing. But I have a sneaking suspicion he may actually have these 2 somehow, because that top thing, it may just, on the backside of this data sheet go, he is equipped with both. Okay, got it. Because Scourging is a new concept. It ignores cover. It's psychic, anti-demon. Only 18-inch range, but... Sorry, let's go back. His movement, his toughness went up by 1. His wounds stayed the same, 1 OC, which is kind of funny that this guy, a big, crazy, epic leader, has 1 objective control. But Scourging, 18 inches, 3 attacks, 2 ballistic skill, 6's strength, -2 AP, 2 damage. This is disgusting. That's a good profile, right? And then Stormbolter, it got downgraded from a Mastercrafted Stormbolter with a -1 AP to the 0 AP. And that's the change. That's it. And it's like, man. Oh, no, sorry. And it only has 1 damage instead of 2. Crazy. So he also has the Titan Sword, which is anti-demon 2+, so he hits demons on a 2-up. Psychic, 6 attacks, which he would have had 6 attacks, so that's good. Strength was 10? No, 8. Okay. Strength still 8 on that. Good. 2-up. -4 AP. Yep, that's still the same, and 3 damage is the same. It's funny how they change certain things and then they don't change other things. It's just fascinating to me. So, Deep Strike, Leader, Teleport Assault. Who's going to lead? That's where it's going to get crazy. Untouchable Purity. While this model is leading a unit, models in that unit have the Feel No Pain 4-up ability against mortal wounds. So he can make them very, very tough to move, especially even with mortal wounds. That's crazy. 1 with the Warp Psychic Power once per battle in this unit. When this model unit declares a charge on the same turn, it was set up as reinforcements using the Deep Strike ability. Add 3 to the charge roll. So instead of a 9-inch charge, because you have to be at least 9 inches away, he's going to get you to a 6-inch charge. Is it still failable? Yes. But the odds are very good for you. And especially if you have a CP to spend for a reroll, you're going to get in because you're going to want to make sure that this guy accomplishes what he's trying to accomplish and wipe out whatever he's trying to charge. It's so bizarre to see Grey Knights in this way, but it's fascinating because it feels like they are going to be teleporty as all get out, and they are going to jump in your face and they're going to delete you before you know what's happened. Even though they don't have all the crazy psychic stuff in the same way, they have other things like the one with the warp psychic ability. So they're much more limited on their psychic, but the psychic that they get makes them pretty devastating. It makes me so curious and excited for when Necrons and Tau get fully previewed, what we're going to see. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of this stuff. Tomorrow we should get these previews fully, and at least we won't cover these guys and some of the other stuff that's already been previewed. But this is some big deal stuff that I think when we get to see the full picture, not necessarily all the points costs, but at least the full picture of here's what Grey Knights can do, we're going to be in a scary spot. And I think that's fascinating because there's been a lot of scary stuff. We've been looking at the Custodies that also got leaked yesterday too, and wow, it's different. And it's the same for them, but yet different because they are definitely on the warpath. But let me know in the comments below what you think about the Grey Knight spoils. This is fascinating stuff. I'm excitedly nervous about everything coming out this week. But I've been Cody from the Keeper's Nerdum. Take care, y'all. Bye.